welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sylvia Liziak. Subscribe to my channel, that way you get to know me, I get to know you. You know, bada bing, bada boom. Today is kind of a different video. I've never made this type of a video. I never really even thought about making this type of video up until a couple of weeks ago, probably. It's a story time. Yay! Lately on YouTube myself, I've been watching a lot of story times and I was like, wait, I got quite a few stories to tell. Quite interesting and odd stories to tell. So, lo and behold, here we are telling a story. Now, this story is a story about the day that I should have died. I don't know how I'm alive. Literally, God saved me, an angel saved me, someone saved me, and it's insane. But anyway, let's get into the story. This was a fetus, Sylvia. I was like maybe 5, 6, or 7. I really don't even remember. It was a long time ago. I was a fetus. Literally, I was a baby. Not baby, but I was a baby. I was a kid. I was little. One day, on our way home from the YMCA, it was my mom, my brother, who was a literal baby. He was like 3 maybe. He was in a stroller. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, so the 3 of us were walking home from the YMCA. I lived in downtown Toronto at this point, and the YMCA from my house at that point was maybe a 20-minute walk. It was a great way to get our workout in, you know? So my mom was pushing my brother in a stroller. Not like a baby stroller. It was like one of those like toddler strollers, you know? You know what I'm talking about. I'll insert a picture right here. That kind of a stroller. So yeah, we were walking home from the YMCA that day. And I was, you know, as a kid, I was kind of rebellious. Not the best listener. I kind of wanted to do my own thing. I was very much like, you told me to do something, I did the complete opposite. I was in my like rebellious stage of kids, of being a child. At one point, we get to this crosswalk, right? It was a sidewalk, we're about to cross the street, and there was those buttons where it's like, you push it, you know, the light changes. Nobody's an idiot here. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. So, we're at this crosswalk. We were waiting for the light to change red so that we could cross and the cars could stop. So eventually, you know, we pushed the button that made the lights change, and then the little walking man appeared on that, you know, on the poles. It tells you it's like a red hand to stop, and then a walking man means you can cross. So the minute the light turned red, my dumb ass, mind you, I was a kid, but my dumbass was like, okay, time to go. I just remember hearing my mom yell, Sylvia, stop, watch out. And then I turn to my left, I see a car and blackout. The next thing I remember is waking up underneath the car. Like, I was like lying backwards, and all I saw was like the bottom of the car, and I saw wheels on the side. So immediately I just like woke up and just ran out from under the car. Like, I slid out from under the car, and then I just remember running to my mom and crying and hugging her. And there was a crowd of people surrounding us at this point because, I mean, a little kid just got hit by a car. The driver, I remember hugging my mom, like holding her so tight and just crying my eyes out. And then I remember looking at the driver that had hit me, and he was just freaked out. Like, and obviously, like, anyone would be freaked out, but he was just like, holy, like, on his face, his facial expression was like, holy shit. Like, oh my God, what the fuck did I just do? At this point in time, cell phones weren't really a big thing. People would have like the flip phone occasionally here and there, but really most people didn't really have cell phones at this time. This is like early 2000s. You know, cell phones, Apple wasn't a thing, iPhones weren't a thing. Literally, it was just like a flip phone, and not many people had cell phones at this time of my life, at least in my opinion. And one of those people were my mom. My mom did not have a cell phone. So now imagine, put yourself in my mom's position. She has 2 kids, one in a stroller, and then her kid just got hit by a fucking car. Her I'm gonna say 6 years old. I think I was 6 years old. Her 6-year-old just got hit by a car. She has no cell phone. She was alone. Obviously, yeah, there was a crowd of people, but my dad was not there. He was at work or whatever. She was alone. She was freaking out. Like, I can't even imagine what I would do if I saw my 7-year-old or 6-year-old kid get hit by a car right in front of me. And mind you, my brother describes, because I asked him a couple years later, I didn't think about it in the moment, but a few years later, I like started thinking about it, and I was like, Matthew, what did it look like? Like, I'm so curious to I wish I could see it. You know what I mean? Like, I wish I could see myself getting hit by that car. I was like, Matthew, what did it look like? And he describes it as, the car hit me, I flipped in the air, and I landed under the car. Like, the car hit me, I flipped, he, I guess, quickly stopped, but at that point, I was already under the car. Oh my god, like, this story, I cannot even believe it happened to me. Cray. Back to the whole cell phone thing. My mom did not have a cell phone. She was freaking out, and a lot of the people around us also did not have cell phones. I'm telling you, nobody had a cell phone. Like, cell phones were not a popular thing. But finally, this one woman was like, here, use my phone. I have a phone, call 911. So my mom called 911. The ambulance came. I was at the hospital for couple of hours. They were just checking me. They checked my heartbeat, they checked my head, they did like a CT scan, they did x-rays, like they just checked my whole body. I was fine. I was literally not injured. The most that I had was a concussion. I had a concussion. That was all. And I had a massive bump on my head, like a massive bump, and it did not go away for like a while. I had a massive I just stabbed myself in the eye. Okay. I had a massive bump on my forehead from hitting the ground, I'm assuming, and I had a concussion. That was literally all. Tell me how that happens. I mean, thank God that that's all that happened. So, whatever. I'm fine. I have a concussion. That's basically it. And this bump on my head with a couple of bruises, but nothing major. So, that's great. Awesome. We didn't really know much about the guy that had hit me. I didn't know really what happened to him until a couple of weeks later. The officer that was in charge of my case, a super nice guy, love him. He had come over to my house just to check up on me, see how I'm doing, see how my family is doing, which was super nice. And then I guess he talked to my mom aside from me. Obviously, I was a kid. My mom's my legal guardian, so he was talking to her for a while. And we learned that the driver was actually, he had a suspended license. So he was driving illegally. He was not supposed to be on the road. Previously, he had a DUI already. His license was suspended. He was not supposed to be on the road. I don't think he was taken to jail because everything was fine. Like, I'm alive. Obviously, it wasn't manslaughter or anything like that. So he was fine. He got a penalty, you know what I mean? He got his license, I think, taken away completely. But yeah, he had a DUI. He was not supposed to be on the road. And also, he had a little bit of alcohol in his system when it happened. So he was intoxicated when it happened. And he was texting. And the funny thing is, I know it's probably not the reason why, but the funny thing is, I think a couple of months after that, or like a year after that incident, it was like against the rules to text and drive. But before that, it was not. But it was just a distraction. But after that, it was like, you're gonna get a ticket if if a police officer catches you on your phone talking, texting, whatever, you're gonna get a ticket. But before that time, before that incident, it was not really illegal, but you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So he did have alcohol in his system. His license was already suspended when he was driving and he hit me. He already had a previous DUI. So yeah, and he was texting while it happened. And the funny thing is, I vividly remember looking at this guy. We made eye contact, and I remember him having his phone right in front of his face. Like, right just on the side. And then he looked up for a second, and then that's when he hit me. So yeah, don't text and drive, kids. Or adults, whoever's watching this, just don't do it. That's basically my story of the day that I got hit by a car and the day that I almost should have died. I 1000% should have died. Even the nurses and the doctor told me, like, you're so lucky that you survived. Like, straight up the doctor had told my parents and me that you're a very lucky girl. Like, you have a very lucky daughter. Nobody knows how I survived that, because even the way that my brother described it, that I flipped in the air and landed underneath the car, like, I'm so lucky to be alive, and I consider that just a sign from God that I'm meant to be here for a reason. And, you know, honestly, it explains a lot about me. You know, the head injury just explains a lot, you know? I'm not always there. But that is my story time, my very first story time, and my very first story time in general, but also my very first story time of 2021. I just want everyone to understand, don't text and drive, don't drive under the influence, no matter what it is, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol, even if you've had a couple of drinks, even if you have one shot and you think you're fine, just don't, because you never know. And especially texting and driving, don't do that. Moral of the story, don't drink and drive, don't text and drive, don't be high and drive. Just don't drive under any sort of influence. I literally thank God. Like, I swear there was an angel or God, someone just saved my life that day. Because the way that it happened, the way that it was described to me, how it happened, it's a miracle that I'm honestly still here. And there's a reason that I'm here. And one of those reasons is probably to tell this story. So yeah, that's my story. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any crazy stories like that. And subscribe to my channel, turn on those post notifications, because there will be more story times coming up. And yeah, I will see you guys on Friday with another video. Actually, Friday is going to be a vlog. I've kind of determined that Monday and Wednesdays are going to be normal videos, kind of like this, like not story times always, but just a different type of video, you know, different fun videos. And then Fridays are going to be a weekly vlog, so you're going to get my whole week and I'll post it every Friday. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications to be notified every time I upload. Let's spread love and positivity wherever we go, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Mwah.